Who are you targeting now?
Arabs.
And you
It's
think that
always been Arabs.
you're Arabs who are against Israel.
Doesn't matter. Any Arab.
Why?
First, I have a strong kinship towards them. I don't know how to explain it. I have this love for them that I don't know how to explain. It's just a kind of love. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why. It might be spiritual. I just love these people so much. I love them with all their craziness and with all their racism, with all their violence, and with all their good things too, with all their music and their food and their culture. And I just see like once I understood the reality of the Middle East, like the picture, I couldn't shut up. I was like, everybody has to know. We're being lied to. We're being scammed in front of our own eyes. And no one's talking about it. No one's doing anything about it.
Wait, do you think that we have a better chance of having a successful relationship with our Arab brothers, right? Than we don't? Meaning, like right now, we see all the pro-Palestinians and all of the guys that you even speak to online, and
Yeah.
Anon speaks to online. They all seem to be very against Israel and Jews.
It seems like it.
It seems like it.
It seems
but
like it.
but are they really, or do you think there's a chance that we can find some common ground?
Here's what you have to know about our enemies / perceived neighbors, or sorry, neighbors / perceived enemies. They are confused. They have an identity crisis. They're struggling and they're begging for help. And we have done a lot of what we thought was a good thing for us and for them and for the world, but we've done a very bad job.
We, as in
the Jews in the state of Israel,
okay.
and American Jews or Western Jews. We thought we were doing a good thing by either trying to distance ourselves, two-state solution, you guys here, a very European model. We're going to be a democratic, liberal, LGBTQ. We're trying to do everything fit all the molds of the Western world without realizing that our neighbors, that's just not them. And that's not the region we're in. And the reason why I think I have a lot of respect of Arabs who watch my content, a lot of them, they can't say it outright. They have to message you in private. But the reason why is because I speak their language. I try to speak in their mind. I'm trying to explain or see the world in their way, in their shoes. So first of all, 100%, I think we have a way better chance of peace now with them more than ever, even with the current context of the war. Because you have to remember something. Arabs are not Arabs. If people think this whole region are Arabs, they're not. It's a scam. That's a lie. It's the biggest scam in the world. We are living in a region dominated by a colonial empire that still exists. And it's begging and drawing and trying so hard to stay alive. And you see this in every aspect. But talk to the average Muslim. Talk to the average Palestinian. Talk to the average Arab. They all hate each other. There is no unity. This concept of the ummah, this one unified, glorified Muslim family, it is a sham. It is a lie. The Sunnis hate the Shia, and the Shia hate the Sufi, and the Sufi hate the Ahmadi. Sorry, they don't. Sufis and Ahmadi are great. But, these different groups in every country you go to, and I've traveled through Muslim countries extensively, they hate each other. It's just a sham that they're all unified or together. And when you wake them up to who they really are, I always put it like this. Imagine an Egyptian kid, or even an Iraqi kid, growing up in the streets of Cairo, of Baghdad, Muslim. His whole life, people are telling him he's an Arab, which means he came from Arabia. He's a descendant of Muhammad, the holy people. But he's looking around, and he's seeing these massive pyramids. And in the ones in Iraq, they're seeing these massive ziggurats, which are like a pyramid-like structure. And they're like, but who built this? Well, also you. Like, what do you mean? I built this and also I came from Arabia? How does that work? You live your whole life with this duality, with this identity crisis of, I'm this, but I'm also this, or I'm the mix. What am I? You can't have national aspirations because you have an ethnic aspiration. And above your ethnic aspiration is your religious aspiration that's trumping all of it. And it's all telling you mixed messages. And that's, I really believe, by the way, the same thing that's happening with quote-unquote white people in the West losing their identity and feeling bad about themselves, mass shootings, the cultural phenomena of what's happening with trans issues, and how it feels like white Western culture is fracturing. Mirror that image, Arab world, it's the same exact thing.
Really?
It's a colonial empire fracturing. They don't know who they are. A Moroccan is told he's an Arab, but he doesn't believe he's an Arab because he doesn't feel Arab, because he doesn't even speak Arabic. He speaks Dereja, which is a different language, which is a mix of Amazigh. But he's told he needs to have unity and loyalty with his Arab brothers and sisters who don't even respect him as a real Arab. Imagine growing up like that.
So what you're saying basically is that, I mean, maybe we can draw a little bit of a connection if the Americans now, because of their lack of identity, are so gullible and ripe to receive information, whether it be true or not, then maybe you're right. Maybe the Arabs here will be susceptible, will also be more willing to listen because they're struggling with their identity as well.
Yeah.
Do you think you can make a correlation between those two?
And I do all the time. This is part of what my work does. Not all of it I can publish because it'll put them in danger, but I've had this conversation specifically with Palestinian Christians often. First, saying the word Palestinian Christian is like not an oxymoron, but it negates itself.
Right.
That doesn't even make any sense. Because
Right.
if you're a Christian in Palestine, that means you're acknowledging the fact that you are probably one of the first followers of Jesus in this land, and you've kept that, which means you are a Jew. Like, you are Jewish. There's no question about that. You're an Israelite. You're from this land. You can't remove yourself. There's nothing Palestinian about you. And many times when I have that conversation with Palestinians, they're like, well, yeah, I don't feel Arab. I just speak Arabic. They know deep down inside that they're not Arabs. They feel way more connected to the land. When it comes to Muslims, it's a little more complicated because there's obviously people who did come here from different parts of the Middle East. There's some that did come from the Arab countries, or some that came from Syria, from Iraq. But something to remember, that we use this in our propaganda all the time, and it's not healthy. Even if they came from Lebanon, or from Syria, or from Jordan, or from Iraq, they're not Arabs. Those aren't Arabic people. Those are people that were colonized by the Arabs. The term is Arabized. They were forced to convert their religion and their culture. And it's so recent. It's the last 800 years the Middle East became Arab. Before that, there were still Arabs here speaking Aramaic. Here, when the Qom Dina happened in 1948, there were Arabs speaking Aramaic here.
Wow.
Those were probably original Jews. You know, that just like they were forced converted. Christianity and Islam. Samaritans, it'll blow your mind when you go there. There's people in Nablus, Muslim women in Nablus who consider themselves Palestinians, who do Jewish customs, like lighting candles on Shabbat, and they don't know why they do it.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not joking with you. This is a common thing all over Palestine. It's been a common thing. A lot of these people are inherently have roots to Judaism or to Israelite culture or to at least the people of the Levant. So it's the biggest scam in the world, and we've also been a part of that problem where we just acknowledge that everyone in the Middle East is just an Arab Muslim, or just because the majority of them are. There's a much clearer picture, but we don't see it because it's easier to be, and this isn't me like pinning people for being racist, but it's easier to be racist than just be like, well, all of Africa is just black. They're all Africans. What do you mean? The people in East Africa are completely different from the people in West Africa. North Africa and the southern part of Africa, unrecognizable from each other. They're like 4 different continents. And even in there's diversity. So we're just going to pretend that from Morocco to Iran, everyone's the same.
Oh,